NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Falcons going up against the Dolphins. With that, let's go down to Miami. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 yards there. And the Dolphins have a first down. On first and 10, Tannehill. Being chased out left. And this is incomplete. And a very capable offensive unit here. One of the headliners, Jordan Cameron.
He's listed as a tight end, but he's at his best when he flexes away from the line of scrimmage and runs routes like a receiver.
Now it's the Boise State alum, jaycazzz. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. To throw is Tannehill, and that is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. They're going to go. It's Tannehill. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. Give him 16 yards on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons' locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, number 1 offense, number 1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015. So you can recover from it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 4th down, Tannehill. Deep drop. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't it?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017.
And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And fourth down coming up.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
So now a man who punted in this stadium collegiately for the University of Miami, Matt Bosher, on to kick. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Here's Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. Third down now following the run.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 58 yards. And the Dolphins are in for 6. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down, here's Ryan. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Here's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just...
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. On second down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. They come out here in the eye. Back to throw, Tannehill. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And Brandon from our...
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Tannehill surveying the field. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And defensively, it's a... Now Tannehill is going to turn here and take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He's got time. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. On fourth down, Tannehill. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 43 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Shift together here from the D-line.
There we go. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from 6 yards away. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Tannehill, they set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And Landry just snuck into the top 10 this year in receiving yardage, 1,136, finishing the year with 94 catches.
And what makes him super dangerous is his ability to convert from being a wide receiver to a running back after making the catch. Because I've talked with a number of defensive backs in the NFL, and all of them, independent of each other, say the exact same thing. Tackling him in the open field is difficult, and he leaves an impact when you do actually bring him down.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Frank's kick is good. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And this one is incomplete. Hey, Charles, give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. Here's Weems to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
21. Hey, let's go.
On first down, Ryan. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. Starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
They go play action here on first down. Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. It's caught. Jones. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They come up in an offset eye. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Justin Hardy, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed.
CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And Tammy with it over the middle. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be first down Atlanta. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it's third and short. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Andre Branch in on the stop. Second down, 9 yards to go. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, Ryan. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. On third down, Ryan. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They come out here in the eye. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Now Tannehill. And this is caught. He hits Landry. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They go play action here on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Down right around the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
He's back to throw. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And they will take a knee here. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they take a knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of...
He's got a man complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. He'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
7 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Looking for someone to throw to. And his throw is incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
throw. And yes, he found Toilolo. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Hey, check this, 58.
One last shot for Ryan. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. You know, no matter the situation.